2024 breeding season is finally here, and I am so stoked to have these new breeding groups set up, and I want to show you what we got. We're going to start off with the Gargoyle Geckos. This is a group of red striped Gargoyle Geckos from a couple different bloodlines that I absolutely love and are insane. This girl right here comes from Brian Susan, and he's a good buddy of mine. He has insane animals, one of the best breeders I know. Look at this girl. She doesn't have as much lateral red, but it doesn't matter. The quality of that top red right there that you see is incredible. It's super bright, and you see it when we put her next to some of the other animals. But this next girl that I'm going to show you is absolutely beautiful, and she is from Adeline Robinson's Gargoyle Gecko line. Now, she has amazing animals. Obviously, she is well known for her art. You'll see her at all the reptile shows with some beautiful art. And actually, that piece right there, that's our boy Ponche Crema, and she made that piece, so shout out to her. I got it. Adeline, your gecko's okay. And this is the next female that we have in this group, and she is, I mean, look at how much coverage she has. So much red. It's just such an incredible animal. And of course, the male is none other than Mr. Perfect. This is a Deadpool grandkid, and look at that. Look at the perfect lateral red stripe on the side there. I just love Deadpool line. It's no secret. You could only imagine what these three animals are going to do together. Look at that red. It's just like the animals that pop out from this season are going to be so insane, and I'm getting so much diversity in the bloodline. You can see these geckos are robust, and they are big, they're healthy, and that's what we want to do when we're, outcrossing. You don't want to stay and breed the same things over and over again. When they're too closely related, you're going to have problems. So outcrossing is super important. So that group is going to produce insane animals. This next group, similar lines. So the male actually also comes from Brian Susan, good friend of mine. He's a little young, but look at the red. Pops. It's just super bright. And this is what I want to work on. With my lines, I want to make sure that the red is coming out, and it's not just the quality of the red in terms of how thick it is and how deep it is. I also want it to be just like super bright. This girl here is one of my favorite geckos. She is Jessica Rabbit, and I mean, she has eyebrows, she has lipstick, and just overall really nice coloration. Honestly, during the breeding season, and she hasn't gotten a real break because she went from Deadpool Jr. to this guy here. Her colors are still, kind of not the best, but you could see, I mean, the quality of this animal is just insane. And I think I got one more. Oh no, so this is just a pair. This one is just these two, because these animals are completely unrelated to Deadpool. And what I'm trying to do is obviously create, I'm trying to think in the future as well. So I want to create animals that I'm going to be able to put back with the Deadpool stuff. So this line, whatever comes out of here, I know that it's completely unrelated to Deadpool, to Dracula, to Pennywise. And eventually those are going to start to mix in with everything else. So that pair, insane. Now this last one, this is a Pennywise and Deadpool line animal. If you guys have seen that crazy Gargoyle Gecko I've been posting on Instagram, my favorite holdback of all time, this is a direct sibling to that animal. A beautiful animal, not as, insane as that one, but you could tell this girl has some really dark, deep, like blood red coloration. Really nice lateral lines. The male that she's with is from, I forgot. The male is from Adeline. Shout out to Adeline. She has great art and great geckos. The red on this animal is absolutely insane as well. And this is what I want to do. Make really deep red, bold red geckos with this pair. Enough for Gargoyle Geckos. Let's go look at some Crested Geckos. And let me show you why I'm so excited about the Crested Gecko 2024 season. All right, this is one of my Asiatic pairs, or groups I should say, and it is absolutely amazing. This girl is a hypo het Asiatic lily white. You can see she's super bright yellow, the lily white markings of course, so I'm trying to make lily white Asiatics with this group. The male is one of my favorite males I have. He's a visual Asiatic, and his name is Michael Blackson, aka Under the Bed, and he's a little crazy. he actually gets darker than this. So it actually reminds me of that gecko that everybody went crazy for a couple uh, a couple weeks ago, that super melanistic gecko that the guy was rubbing and put it under the sink and everything. He is actually real. You can see right here. He is a visual axanthic, as you can see, and he gets darker than this, believe it or not. I'm going to try to get some pictures of him fully fired up, but this is Michael Blackson. I love this gecko, so with him I'm trying to produce some axanthic lily whites and more axanthics. This girl comes from a friend of mine, Tara. This girl is just like a super high white cream extreme harlequin. And the reason why I paired this girl with Michael Blackson is because, first of all, she has great head structure, and obviously she has the white spot trait and just overall really nice high harlequin markings. So my idea of what I'm trying to think in the future is I'm trying to make het high white axanthics, het axanthics. Eventually I want to make phantom axanthics that have high white portholes. If you guys have seen those phantoms that have like really high white portholes, that's basically what I want to make, but in a xanthic version. Obviously a dark, really dark base and just crazy high white sides. So that's why, you know, I paired him with her. I think it's, I'm trying to think a couple steps ahead. Then there's one more girl in here. And then this girl, this is a het axanthic girl. She's just a flame, nothing crazy, but check out the structure on her. She has a great head structure. Obviously, just a flame pattern, no harlequin. You see, no markings on the limbs or the sides. You know, what I care about is that great structure that she has. This is like a thick, robust gecko, so we want to make them nice and healthy, right? That's why we have them here. Let's go over and see one of my lily white groups. All right, this group is a group that has been together for 2 years now, but they produce such great animals that I want to highlight them. The bloodlines are just all over the place. There's so many good bloodlines, and I'll show you the females first since I got them right here. So as you can see, the structure on these geckos is just great, insane structure. This girl has some really nice crests. I'm not just talking about the width of her head. I'm talking about the length of the actual crest and the little spikes that you see and the pinstripes that you see all over her body. She is a quad stripe, obviously. Really beautiful animal. This one comes from LAC Herps, I believe. Another really great breeders. This one, I can't remember where she comes from, but high white, you know, really nice creams, thick creams, white spot. A little bit of white spot there. So she's been producing some really nice animals. The male, his name is Rillo. He is a male I produced a while back. Obviously, he's not really fired up here, but you could see how much white he has. And just like that really high expression, he's a high expression lily. He's a yellow base, a hypo yellow base high expression lily, and he has just been producing animals that just knock it out of the park every single time. So interesting to see the different phenotypes that I get from these girls. This is the 3rd or 4th season that he's been with these girls. I actually could dial down and I know exactly what baby comes from which girl just based on the phenotype. Now this last female in this group is a really high white drippy female. I'm expecting this year to be a really good year for her because last year was her first. She didn't produce a lot of eggs, but turns out she is het phantom and so is he. Red base, really drippy, high white, great head structure. This is the kind of gecko I like to breed. Very beautiful gecko. The color, the pattern, the structure is all on point. This is a lily white group to watch out for. Rillo just been producing some insane animals. Some of you already have offspring from him, so you know what I'm talking about. Now next, I want to show you guys one of my tricolor groups. I'm really excited about that because it's the first year this particular tricolor male is breeding. So let's put these back. Let's get over to the tricolors. All right, this next group I'm really excited about. Oh, there's a male, there's a male. Oh, he almost got away. So check this crazy tricolor male out. This one comes from Christie's Reptile Room. And guys, the lineage on this gecko is insane. I actually got another female from that same pair that produced this gecko here because I just love that pair. I love what they've been doing. And look at the structure, the color, the pattern, like everything is on point with this gecko. So I'm really excited to breed them and outcross them to some different tricolor lines. Actually not related to any of the Emily Burke stuff, and it still has that paper white sides there. So I'm really excited to eventually cross this to the Emily Burke stuff. This animal is really, really special. I love, you know, the tricoloring on this guy. Obviously not a full pinstripe, a couple pinstripe scales missing, but no problem. We will fix that in one generation or two. So this is the male. I showed you the male first. I think he is probably the most attractive gecko in here. Actually, this one might be the most attractive gecko in here. This is a Frost daughter, and Frost is a gecko of mine, obviously. She's a high expression, lily white, just beautiful. I don't need to say much. The coverage on this animal is basically all white. I love this animal. I produced this the first year I had Frost. She's not fired up, so she's not looking her best, but you could still see, I mean, guys, lily whites doesn't get much better than this. This is the best morph ever happened to crested geckos. Here is another tricolor girl. She's a little crazy, not fired up obviously, so it's gonna be hard to show her off. I'm not gonna show her off for much, but she still has great structure, good lateral tricoloring there. So let's put her back, and I think there's one more girl, and this is another tricolor girl, and this one is actually a female that she has great structure, obviously great tricoloring, not a full pinstripe either, but her and that male, they're gonna make some full pinstripe tricolors, so that's what I'm excited about. But this girl comes, you know, comes from an old breeder here in Florida. I forgot the name, escaping my mind right now, but it traces back to Creepy Exotics line. So Barbara, back in the day, she had like top tier tricolors. Even to this day, she has some of the most well-known tricolors, and basically all the tricolors you see now stem back from her. This is one of those animals, beautiful female here, and I'm really excited about what these tricolors are gonna make. So let's put them back, and now I'm gonna show you a pair that I put together because I am just so obsessed with like dark and cream pinstripes. This is the female, she comes from Northern Gecko, and this is the male, and the male is quite stunning as well. His name is Holy War, and I don't have a name for her yet, but I expect to make some crazy nice pinstripes. Maybe I'm just gonna put it right there. All right, guys. But you could see, I mean, the color on these animals is insane. Pinstripes will never get old, especially the ones that have the wide out laterals just like that. He's not even fired up. Well, they're all crazy fired up, but not color-wise. These two geckos I'm expecting to make beautiful babies. Maybe it's not the geckos. Maybe I'm just so fucking crazy right now with all this coffee, and that's why they're like getting crazy. And now we're gonna put them back. I'm gonna show you one more group, and this group is the Cappuccino Frappuccino group. I'm finally getting some really nice Frappuccinos coming, so that's what I'm gonna show you now. All right, last but not least is my Frappuccino Cappuccino group. And this is the male right here. His name is Duncan. And Duncan because Dunkin' Donuts. But you can see he is a beautiful Frappuccino. I'll never get over the frosted crests that the Frappuccinos do. You know, they get that frosted crest and that head stamp. It's almost like the Cappuccino's like eating away at the lily white dorsal. And that's why you get that really, really pretty look. So with him, I'm pairing up one of these. This is a citrus line female, believe it or not. And what I like about her, obviously, is that she has some of that, like that a little bit of that head stamp and that highlighted crest. But look at all the breaks that you see on the dorsal, and that happens from heavy tigering. You know, hence the frost line. Not frost. Frost is not this line. Citrus line. You could also see the breaks that are here on her laterals. It's just a very unique gecko. I love pairing unique stuff up and seeing what comes out. But this gecko, I think, is just like a work of art. I love the marbling, you know, the breaks, the tigering that's making the breaks in the dorsal and on the sides. And this is her first year breeding, so I'm really excited to see how she does with a cappuccino and the lily white, and to make the frappuccinos versions of this, obviously. So Duncan, you got to stay in here, my guy. The last, actually, this is another female. I didn't remember I had her in here, but I'll show her. Same thing. She has that frosting, really nice head structure. This is an animal that gets extremely dark, and she has the white spot trait, as you could see. So she gets some white, This is an older breeder. I was gonna actually retire her this season, but last minute, I saw her structure. I saw that white tip, crests, and I'm like, why not? Let's just breed her one more year. And then the last female that I have here with my guy Duncan is this like tricolor-ish female. Now, same thing, if you, as you can see, I have like a theme going with this group, and it's that highlighted crest. So I like that thick highlights that the Frappuccinos make with the crest right here. So that's why I have her. She's also a whiteout, as you can see there with those laterals. So I'm expecting some really nice cappuccinos, some really nice Frappuccinos, and some really nice lily whites from this group. And obviously, because Duncan, he is a Frappuccino, which is a lily white cappuccino, he is going to make all the different combinations. It's going to be great. I'm excited. 2024 is underway. The breeding season is underway. We are already starting to get eggs, believe it or not. So I am so stoked. And guys, that wraps up this video. Thank you so much for watching. We do have some new merch on the website. Check it out. We got the Guys Chill, it's just Geckos shirt, and we got the Gecko Girl shirt. So make sure you check that out. Thank you for the support, and we'll see you guys on the next one.